Tuesday, February the 16th. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and this is my daily thought, which I don't think is going to be long. Actually, hold on. Didn't I say that yesterday and I think I jinxed it? And it ended up being like 25 minutes. No, it's not going to be long this time. It's not going to be long this time. Today's not going to be long. One reason is because either I rushed when I was eating my breakfast this morning, or it was one of the containers that I ate out of. You know how you have that yogurt in the large containers and you try to scrape out the last little bit that's left in there? That's what I did, and then I opened a new container because that's usually what I do. I eat non-fat Greek yogurt in the morning mixed with like pumpkin seeds and cashews and blueberries and sometimes raspberries and walnuts and a little bit of vitamin C powder is what I eat in the morning, along with a pack of albacore tuna, which I love albacore tuna. So just me. My god sister in Brooklyn, she judged me when I told her that because she's like, albacore tuna doesn't taste good to her. But whatever. I digress. Anyways, so when I was scraping the last little bit, I was, maybe something might have been wrong with that last little bit of yogurt that I was scraping the bottom of the barrel for. I was trying to get my money's worth. Or I just ate too fast, because ever since I ate breakfast this morning, because I was moving pretty well at first. And then as the day set in, it's like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? And yeah, so here we are. And I wasn't even sure if I was doing this episode, but I was like, okay, I can do a 10-minute episode because I want to put something up. Because the thing is that if I don't record an episode, I don't have a stand-in. I don't have a feeling. It's not like I can get on the phone with my agent and say, hey, have somebody stand in for me. I won't make it in today. So, and I don't have an agent because, yeah, I run everything. So, yeah. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Also, this podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and apparently some podcast platform. I literally just received an email today. They added this podcast they signed up to be a distributor for this podcast. It's called Verbal, but it's spelled like VURBL. What is it? Hold on. VURBL is what it is. And they sent me an email saying that they've added my podcast to their platform, which, I mean, that can be done because my RSS feed is public. So it's wherever the RSS feed is added, that's where the podcast will be. And I'm fine with that because it increases my listenership for my podcast. So it's totally cool. It was just interesting that I got that email out the blue. So shout out to anybody who is listening via Verbal, VURBL, as well. But the podcast is on several podcasting platforms. Today, I just wanted to briefly talk about personality. I had talked about reputation before, and I know when I was talking about reputation, I mentioned that personality was sort of like connected to that, where your reputation can precede you, where someone might have a reputation for having a good or bad or lukewarm personality. And personality is another thing, is subjective. There's so many things in life that are just subjective, where it's all in who's coming in contact with it and everything else. Because I've had people tell me that I have a very cold personality and that I can be mean. But then I've had other people tell me that, oh, no, you have a very warm personality, you have a heart of gold, and da-da-da-da-da, or whatever. I think it's just a little bit of both. I always tell people, if I don't know you personally, I usually don't, I, it takes me a while to warm up to someone. I will always be polite. Again, see my episode, polite versus fake. There's a difference. But when it comes to just a stranger that I don't know, I'll be polite and stuff, but I'm not going to be like we're best friends. I'm not going to jump in your face like a golden retriever. It's not happening. So when people have when certain people have an impression of me, as soon as I say golden retriever, here goes a dog barking. It isn't a golden retriever. I don't know what kind of dog it is, but I digress. But with my personality, it's just all according. And I've met people where their personality to me might come across as cold. However, I talk to someone else who knows them and they're like, oh no, they're such a sweetheart and da da da. And I'm like, oh. And same thing with me, where it's been the other way around, where I've met people where their personality is so warm and so chill, but then I talk to someone who knows them and they're like, oh no, they're so mean and they don't care and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, are we talking about the same person? So yeah, it's just personality is crazy. They say you get more flies with honey than you do vinegar. They say that having an agreeable personality helps you get things done. It helps you advance in life. And in some cases, that's true. However, I know for a fact that some people who have been ridiculously successful and are well known have a reputation that precedes them due to the, I'll say, prickliness of their personality. Their personality was not always well received. And the thing about personality, there's a word in personality. It's called person. And that's the only thing that you can be is a person. And the only person that you can be is you. I know that there are times when people try to assume others' personality traits from time to time, someone that they might admire. And they're like, oh, I really like them. That they're so amazing with what they do. And someone might try to assume their personality traits, like, oh, well, when this person talks, they talk like this. Or, oh, well, when this person responds to a situation, they respond like this. They're not quick to lash out. They'll think for a second, or they don't think, they lash out, and so on and so forth. Or this person, their personality, they're not a huge fan of having a lot of children around them, or what have you. And I'm naming things here. And some people, when they admire someone, they kind of, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally, pick up those personality traits. It's almost, I forgot what the saying is in Spanish. I used to know it because for those who don't know, I used to live in Miami and they used to say it all the time. And for those who speak Spanish, you know what I'm talking about. Tell me who you hang around and I'll tell you who you are. And it's not coming to me that I used to have it memorized. Which actually I spoke a little bit of Spanish once upon a time when I lived in Miami, because a lot of Cuban people were teaching, and also Puerto Rican as well, were teaching me Spanish. But that was something that was said a lot. So that's another thing where if you're hanging around someone a lot, you might pick up some of their personality traits unintentionally. That's why they say, who are your 5 friends? You know, if all 5 of your friends are broke, then more than likely you're going to be the 6th broke one, because you're around people with that personality, with that mindset. I don't always agree with that. I believe that I believe in several things. One thing I believe is that again, we're all individuals. That's number one. So even though you might pick up some of the energy from other people, you're still an individual person. I also believe that as an individual, people have the ability to rise above if they just believe in themselves and if they work hard. That is my honest belief. That hard work wins. That's what I believe in. Now, does hard work win quickly? Not always. In some cases, for some people, it does. In some cases, it takes people forever putting in hard work and then they finally win, or whatever they categorize as winning. But it just varies. The best thing that I can think of when it comes to personalities is just remember that you are an individual. And I've always said that to people. I've always said, I'm trying to get comfortable in this chair. I don't know if this is my collarbone or whatever, my clavicle or something. I'm just massaging it a little bit for those who are watching on camera. But anyways, for those who are looking to pursue something, for those who have dreams, if the best way to get there is by being yourself, by showing your original personality, by showing who you are. Because with all of us being different, we might have some similarities, but we're still all different. Every single one of us are different. There isn't one person that is exactly alike. Again, we may have some similarities, but we're all different. There's a reason that we were all made different. And because we were all made different, that's even more reason. Got something in my eye. That's okay. 1 second. Had to put some sand. Anytime I touch my eye, I start pulling out hand sanitizer. But one reason we were made different is so we could shine. Do you know how boring it would be if everyone had the exact same personality, or if everyone looked alike? That would be crazy and very boring. So boring. Don't be afraid to let your personality shine, good, bad, or indifferent. You can always course correct later on. And what I mean by that is you learn as you go throughout life. And sometimes things don't work as well as other things, but you learn as you go throughout life. Hey, maybe I need to do this a little bit different. Or if you're just one of those people who are like, hey, this is who I am, take me as I am or not at all, you can have that attitude too. I mean, you're an individual. It's your choice on what you want to do. But the point is that you still want to let your individual personality shine so people can see you as an individual. You don't want someone to see a personality where you've taken on all of these attributes from other people or another person, and all of those attributes are stacked on top of you, and they're not always attributes in a way, but all of these layers of other personality traits are stacked on top of you that you acquired from other people. And then when someone looks at you, they're not looking at you, they're looking at all of the layers and everything else they can't get through to the actual you. That's why it's important to be an individual and let your personality shine. So when somebody looks at you, so when somebody interacts with you, they can only see you and not see you and think of someone else. They can only think of you because you're one of a kind. You're an individual. You are the original. And I've talked about that before. You're the original. You can't be recognized as that if you have all of these layers of other parts of people's personality stacked on top of you. You want to let your personality shine. You want to let the world see you as an individual. You don't want to be like everyone else. Now, I'm not saying don't learn from other people. What I am saying is make sure that your individuality, your personality, is the one that stands front and center when you interact and are seen by the world. And that is my daily thought. And I got it under 20 minutes. Yes. Okay. So anyways, hopefully my body will stop acting crazy after I ate that stuff. I'm so tempted to throw that because I'm a very paranoid person. And I'm tempted to throw out the other container too. I should have ordered one more because I just ordered some Amazon grocery, which is on the way. But I should have ordered one more yogurt because I get really paranoid sometimes. And I'll throw whole things out if I feel something's off. But I digress. I don't want this to turn into a 20-minute or 25-minute video. I'm going to get going. Thank you to everyone who has been supporting this podcast. I sincerely appreciate it because you taking time out of your day to listen to me, it really means a lot. So you already know KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform, KIRWKC on all the other platforms. I hope things will get better for myself throughout the week because I'm doing March tarot card readings this weekend for the March energy. And those readings take a lot out of me. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm going to make sure I get my sleep and do everything else that I need to do, and keep your fingers crossed too. So anyways, until next time, be blessed.